Hi everyone, welcome to Rome, the capital of Italy and home to one of the most iconic Baroque plans in the world. Today we'll be talking about the significance of Baroque planning and how it transformed Rome to become the city that exists today. The Baroque era is known for its use of exaggeration and ornate details to create movement and a sense of grandeur. Thus, Baroque city planning introduced a new approach that used articulation and grand gestures to create an interconnected and interactive city. To create this sense of movement and drama, Baroque urban planning played with focal points, grand avenues, unique perspectives, and open space. The organization of these elements were used to show power and became central nodes that made up the urban fabric of the city. Overall, Baroque urban planning focused on the careful organization of each feature to create movement and dramatic gestures that ultimately made the city into a living organism. Baroque urban planning strategies were used in Rome by religious officials such as Pope Sixtus IV to reconstruct the city and promote the Catholic Church, especially during the Catholic Reformation. However, Pope Sixtus V executed the ultimate Baroque plan to restore the city and promote the Catholic Church by creating a pilgrimage that links 7 holy sites in the city. In his plan, the Pope added obelisks, grand avenues, statues and fountains, and other landscape design features to connect the holy sites. The Santa Maria della Pace is one of the first examples that used Baroque planning at a smaller scale because it used dramatic moments to create a harmonious relationship with its surroundings. The Santa Maria della Pace, also known as the Church of Our Lady of Peace, is located near Piazza Navona and tucked between the narrow streets of Rome. Although the origin of the church is unknown, we do know that Pope Sixtus IV rededicated the church to the Virgin Mary in the early 1400s. Eventually, in the mid-1600s, Pope Alexander VII commissioned Pietro da Cortona to design the iconic Baroque facade, which became the defining feature of the church. As visitors approach the building, the facade is hidden and seems very flat. However, as you get closer, the small piazza creates an open space that changes your perspective and creates a dramatic reveal of the church. The facade uses the irregularity of the streets leading up to the church to create an arrested movement, as the undulation of the facade shifts the viewer's perspective. The portico is pushed out into the piazza, while the upper part of the facade is pulled in, to create movement and unify the building with its surroundings. The facade welcomes visitors into the church that includes 8 chapels covered with ornate details, sculptures, and paintings, such as Carlo Maderno's Madonna and the Child, and the 4 Sibyls by Raphael over the Chigi family chapel. The chapel leads visitors to the open courtyard area that includes Donato Bramante's infamous cloister, which moves people around with the rhythm of the arches and the columns. Overall, the Santa Maria della Pace is one of the many significant examples of Baroque city planning in Rome because it creates movement, manipulates the viewer's perspective, and creates dramatic moments in both the interior and the exterior. On a larger scale, St. Peter's Piazza is another example of Baroque planning because it uses large open space to unify the city. The piazza is located in Vatican City and is designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. The original St. Peter's Basilica was built by the Emperor Constantine as a holy site where the Apostle Peter was martyred. However, the basilica went under reconstruction over 120 years because it was falling apart. Eventually, Bernini was commissioned by Pope Sixtus V to redesign St. Peter's Piazza, which would become a landmark in the city for the Catholic Church. The piazza is divided into 2 major sections, creating an arrested movement as visitors progress throughout the open space. The first section is an ellipse-shaped space that includes fountains sculpted by Bernini and Carlo Maderno, as well as an Egyptian obelisk at the center. It also includes 2 large colonnades that enclose the space and symbolize the welcoming arms of the church. These elements are located on the 2 main axes that run through the piazza, which is also surrounded by 140 statues of saints on top of the 284 columns in the colonnades. As you continue to progress through the space, the piazza directly in front of the basilica is a trapezoidal-shaped space that frames the basilica's facade with the buildings extending outwards from the church and the floor sloping towards the facade. This creates a unique perspective and draws visitors to the basilica. Each component of the piazza creates movement and perspectives throughout the space. These gestures also promote the Catholic Church by creating a strong connection between the city and the infamous basilica and allows the piazza to become a gathering space that can fit around 300,000 people for events hosted by the church. Together, the 2 portions of the piazza highlight the basilica and create the perfect example of Baroque planning, because of the dramatic gestures and unique perspectives that create movement throughout the space, while also showcasing the power of the church. Overall, these examples of Baroque planning in Rome define the shape and experience of the city that exists today. The drama and gestures of each individual space not only help promote the Catholic Church, but it added to the urban fabric of the city and created a unique experience for people to enjoy.